overrated because I think he's in a really interesting spot for my perception in the macro. He's not so hot right this exact second that he's overrated. He had a real career and was a real executor of his craft. He's not just a personality. I don't know enough about him to say he's underrated, so I'm just going to say properly rated. I think people see the crass alpha frat boy thing, Portnoy out there and about. I think they see certain things. I think they very much underestimate that it's one of the media conglomerates that most has its pulse on the actual consumer, does incredibly contemporary work, does really interesting stuff. The Barstool Fund, huge shout out to them, what they're doing for small businesses. Can it be a little frat crass? Sure. But I think we also have to be careful with over-demonizing like 25-year-old dude behavior at times. They're so young kids and things of that nature, and I think it's underrated.
Drop shipping.
I've been thinking about overrated, underrated, D-Rock. And I've been thinking about that there's certain things that are what I call barbells. They're both. I think that a lot of people are in drop shipping and don't realize that they have graduated to the next step, and they have skills that could be starting a brand itself or a company, and they've got complacent because they're doing well in the arbitrage. Because they're street kids a lot of times, don't realize they have more in them. And so for them, it's overrated because they're comfortable, they're making 6 figures a month, but they could be building a $150 million brand. I think it's underrated because I think a lot of people watching this right now don't even know what it is. They're about to go Google. So overall, I think it's underrated with a small group that is complacent in their success and are gonna need to be pushed to do bigger things because they can. And I hope you hear me, that crew.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Cristiano Ronaldo is, I'm gonna go with slightly overrated because I think I'm very good at understanding if men are good looking. I'm comfortable in that, and I don't find him as good looking as people find him. I'm not as attracted to Ronaldo as I feel like I should be, and thus he's slightly overrated.
Sour beer.
Oh, I like sour beer. I think sour beer is very underrated. I've never been a beer drinker in my life. I've been educated in it because I grew up in the business, but by palate, I don't love beer the way I love wine, but sour beer is really hits my palate well. I'm gonna get more into it.
Adobe Creative Suite.
I don't use it, as you know. You do, others do, we all do. I guess I should say underrated then. Maybe we can get some free software, I'm just kidding. The flip side is I'm always fascinated by cloud-based, free software, emerging tools, all the little things on the app, you know, so I'm gonna go with properly rated.
401k.
I'm gonna go with overrated. I think people hear that term and think it's like gonna take care of them and it's all good and it's gonna be fucking awesome, and I feel like take control of your own money and fucking invest in what you know. I'm about to take most of my money out of the stock market and buy Michael Jordan PSA 10 rookie cards. Gonna live my own thesis. By what you know.
Books.
Books are underrated. How you define a book, and it comes in audio form, it comes in digital form, it comes in print form. I only read one book a year. In print form, I carried that contemporary art book around. I think earlier you heard me. I'm so shocked how inexpensive books are. But I think net, I think books are still slightly underrated because I think books are not as popular or as rated as they were 40 years ago. I think there's a lot of different ways to learn. I'm one of those learners. But if I'm doing this show the way I'm doing the show, which is, do I believe something is overrated or underrated from my personal point of view at this exact moment, I think books right at this exact second are underrated.
Deadlift.
Underrated. My left ass muscle sucked and was like dormant and broken because of my bad back. And Jordan saw it when he worked with me, made me deadlift. And I was scared of it. It became a tremendous exercise for me. And I actually miss it. I'm about deadlift now. So I think like anything, like alcohol, like cannabis, like betting, moderation, like know your technique, know your stuff. People get fucked up, and so you gotta be careful. It's why some people are gonna leave in the comments overrated. Leave your comment to this episode. Where did I trigger you? I know you're Lego. You're all mad right now.
Hardcore.
No.
That shit is crazy. Like I'm scared shitless of that. Sushi's underrated. I believe that.
No.
Have decided they like sushi, they've never really had it. I believe that there's a lot of people that have one specific perception of sushi. The reason a lot of people have garbage sushi. Sushi's fucking expensive. So I don't blame, I don't hate, I don't try to fancy this fucking show up. But like, real fucking fresh fish done properly, sushi style, like, is some legit fucking cuisine out here. Underrated.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Underrated. I have huge conviction in this. This is the reverse of the past. That is a fucking actor.
Here I come. Here I come.
Etsy's underrated. Super creative, interesting platform. Something a lot of people who are watching this right now, they're looking for side hustle that have a little creative bone in their body. I think could build massive Etsy stores and do some business. I think Etsy is underrated.
Addison Ray.
Addison Ray. I think Addison Ray is properly rated. You know, she's a TikTok celebrity at the highest level along with the D'Amelios, which means she has incredible admiration and is now in films and like hanging out with the Kardashians and, you know, like in the past and all this, like just out and about, like there. That also comes with an enormous amount of hate. And so for me, when it's that extreme in the white hot moments, I go with properly rated because you're getting pulled from both sides, which almost creates the actual natural marketplace.
Capri Sun.
Capri Suns are underrated. They're probably atrociously unhealthy for you, and I've become way cleaner and healthier in my older age. I mean, I would drink 3 Capri Suns in the first 36 minutes they were in my household. Underrated.
Drones.
Drones are underrated. I think drones are going to make a much bigger impact in our society than we think, and I think this happens all the time. The Alexa, Google Home, the iPhone. The first couple of years, people forget something comes out, it's hyped, it hits everyone's radar. Drones are going to deliver all our stuff in 2 years. People are confused. Then it doesn't happen. It rolls us to sleep, but then it comes hard. You know what else is going to do that? VR, Oculus. And so drones are in that place right now where they're underrated because people have forgot about it. It's not fun anymore. But like, we're all going to wake up in 17 years and we're going to be about and doing shit, and we're like, oh fuck, and da-da-da. So underrated.
Smack it. Quarterback. Jog down.
Business cards.
This is so weird that you just said that. I think Alexis Ohanian, the founder of Reddit, on Twitter, referenced the thought of business cards, especially the earliest ones, of iconic business people becoming like rookie cards. And I was like, literally like thinking it was the coolest thing. I would normally say that business cards are ridiculously overrated. AKA, if you have one, what the fuck are you doing? It's 2021. On the flip side, this one little random tweet I read in my Twitter feed has me curious of like, I always go into, would I buy a Jeff Bezos Amazon business card, like that's real janky and clearly from 1994 in a case? Probably. So, kind of cool. Imagine Oprah's business card from like when she was a newscaster. Like, it is dope, right? Underrated. YouTube, I hope you enjoyed another episode of Overrated, Underrated. Please subscribe, share, pass this on. But most of all, leave me a comment. Your feedback to the show really matters to me the most. Thanks for watching and hope you're well.
Why should you invest in stocks on eToro?
With eToro, I can invest in stocks with zero commission.
eToro has a wide variety of global and local stocks.
Buy in bulk.
It's your choice. If you're new to investing, you could take risk-free with $100,000 in a virtual portfolio. And up.
Team, 2 things on overrated and underrated. 1, did you see how many views it has in the first 30 minutes? And 2, D-Rock and I just filmed a fucking fire episode. Hey everybody, and welcome to Overrated Underrated with your host, Gary Vaynerchuk. My trusty friend D-Rock is here with the questions of the day, and I will give it the thumbs up or the thumbs down. D-Rock, let's go.
Możemy też sobie to na paru kiedy.
Wyrosę?
Jack
Ja mam
Harlow's
takie czasy, mam
underrated. I don't know when you're gonna put this out, but I know he has a new album
Jeśli
out,
biera,
and I think I will be proven correct hard work.
Czekaj, spierdalaj, dopuściłem jak film.
Делай си каквото искаш, не се притеснявай.
Няма, sorry.
Делай си. Каквото искаш, гледай.
Давай някакъв филм.
Няма да гледай сега само и те накладничко. Аз е тук си гледам, говорим телефона.
Давай филм.
Гледай ти каквото искаш.
Няма. Следваме филм.
participation.
We survived.
All police and emergency services have been reinstated. All crime, including murder, is now illegal.
Come on, let's get to work. One night only. The rest of the year is peaceful.
Help me! Help me! The purge is over, please!
No, it ain't. What's it say? Nobody hear the sirens?
There's no crime anymore. Anything goes.
You rich can't hide behind your steel walls no more. Powerless. How's that feel? This is the real purge. The forever purge. Hurry up! They're coming!